outspoken Trump critic and former CIA Director John Brennan acted sort of like a second opinion of sorts on this issue in his visit to the Hill, despite his previous misinformation that he admitted to on the Mueller probe.
Well, I don't know if I received bad information, but I think I suspected that there was more than there actually was.
Here now, Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana, a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator Kennedy, great to have you here today. Thank you very much. What do you think, what was John Brennan doing on the Hill today?
In my judgment, Martha, Mr. Brennan needs to take off his tin hat and get a job. He's lost his security clearance. The only thing he's well versed in is the stuff he makes up. It's clear to me, and has been for some time, that Mr. Brennan is not a national security professional. He's a politician. And that's why I think he let the American people down when he ran our CIA. In terms of what's actually going on, we had a classified briefing today, by we, I mean all of my Senate colleagues and I, by the Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, Joint Chiefs of Staff. We're not trying to provoke war with Iran. Our moves are entirely defensive. We're trying to protect American soldiers and American interests and the interests of our friends in Iran. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this, Senator. After this briefing, because we spoke to Lindsey Graham, Senator Graham, last night, and he said that he felt that when the broader group listened to this, that they would be alarmed by what he had learned in a smaller briefing. Were you alarmed by the provocative nature of what Iran has been up to, or do you not agree with that statement?
Well, I was alarmed in the sense that, without revealing classified information, it is clear, based on our intelligence, that the danger that Iran represents to the United States had been heightened by Iran. I am comforted by the fact that I think our response was very appropriate. I'm not clairvoyant, but I believe that danger has been lessened somewhat. We can't let our guard down. The truth of the matter is that Iran is a cancer. It's a cancer on the Middle East. It's a cancer on the world. Not the people of Iran, but their leadership, the supreme leader, the Ayatollah. He's not mixed up. He's not confused. It's not a question that his mama or daddy didn't love him enough. He just hates America. And his religion tells him, his interpretation of his religion tells him to hate all those, including but not limited to America, who disagree with him. And we just have to deal with that. Now, the Obama administration thought that by making a nuclear deal with the Ayatollah, we could somehow change his behavior. As a result of that deal, the Ayatollah received between 50 and 150 billion dollars. That's 9 zeros. He didn't change his behavior. He used that money to export terrorism, supporting Hezbollah, supporting Hamas. President Trump has responded appropriately. He's hit him with sanctions, and those sanctions are hurting the people of Iran, and I hate to see it for the people, but I'm glad for the leadership.
Well, the question is, where do we go from here?
Let me tell you where we go from here. We have Iran down. Now we need to choke them. That's the only thing that the supreme leader, the Ayatollah, understands.
And will we do that with sanctions and continued sanctions, or militarily?
Yes. No, sanctions.
All right.
I do not believe we will have a war with Iran. The Ayatollah may be evil, but he's not stupid. We have the sanctions on their oil exports, on their medical on their metals exports, on their Revolutionary Guard. They're hurting the leadership badly. They're also hurting the Iranian people, which I regret. I hope that the Iranian people demand better leadership, but we'll have to wait and see.
Senator Kennedy, thank you. Good to see you tonight,
sir. Thank you, Martha.
Thank you.